Let's go. We wait. we wait.
Are you logged in?
No, I said we wait for the ping.
Oh, right. I couldn't hear you properly.
We do be live, but we just wait for ping. Now the question is, can I do this?
Okay, no wonder I can't hear you. I've just realised my volume settings in game were like an upload.
Wait, can I now?
So I just turned my volume down and somehow Mark came over the radio saying you're P18.
I don't know what you're on about. Well, I'm going to pretend I know what you're on about and say yes.
I just turned my volume down in game.
Yeah.
And somehow Mark came over the radio saying you're P18. We're not in session and there's 17 people total. Not 18, but you know what I mean.
Good day, Tristan. Good day, mate. Welcome to the stream. I'll give us a proper intro when I see La Ping go out. But I assume our usual quick joiners, that'll be Josh Tomo. Tristan usually joins pretty quick. Some of the engineers also get in here very quickly. Extremely quick.
So.
Oh, wow. The ping was quicker than normal. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
Hi everybody. Welcome to round 3 of the Formula Virtual Championship, Season 6, around Imola. I mean, I always end up commentating Imola somehow. I mean, it's not a track I really like or dislike, really. I just like one singular sequence of corners, and that's about it. But no. I mean, it's an alright track. I'm here with Ace, as Matthew has ditched me again. He hasn't actually ditched me. He's at a family dinner, but he is unable to attend. So Ace is here again.
Hello.
Magnus is useless in the races. He does nothing for me. Are you dissing your race engineer, Tristan?
Oh, who just said that?
Tristan's dissing his race engineer.
Imagine.
No. Maybe you need to speak to your TP to hire a new race engineer for you.
Who even is his engineer? If he has one.
Well, he said Magnus is useless in the races. He does nothing for me.
Ah,
so I assume that's his race engineer. Oh, his teammate.
No, it's his TP.
Oh. So his yeah.
Jetpack can't join because no one's given him an invite.
An invite. Let me invite him.
Like, I think we've sent him, but he can't join for some reason.
My invite will work, because... yeah. M-Funk is your teammate, yeah. Verify says, I'm highlighted. Ooh. You know what? No. Screw you. You're not being highlighted anymore. Just for that comment. If you wouldn't have said anything, you would have stayed highlighted. But you said something. You missed your opportunity.
Wow, I'm leaving.
No, fine. I need to check. So I want to look at the race results. So, as you may aware, round 2 was a bit of a fiasco. So Troy wins round 1, which we all knew. The result for the sprint race was Jack, as we all know. And your very, very late report, if you're not in the Discord server, that is, of the race results after last week's little Fantango fiasco. Troy wins back-to-back, comes first. Jacobo takes P2, Pink Eye P3, Jack P4, The Monster P5, Final Flame P6, Razor Fishy P7, Id P8, Tristan P9, Verify P10, Evan P11, Oliver F1 P12, Oliveira P13, and DNFs are Charlie Sandstorm, Victor Jetpack, Josh Tomo, and Niels Hendricks. that is your Mexico results. But moving away from Mexico to, oh, excuse me, moving away from Mexico to Imola, but we know sprint race, so it's just qualifying and a race. So it should be an interesting one. If Troy can go back to back to back, could he win every race this season? I doubt, but he might. It could be something that happens.
Yeah, would be crazy for him to do it. Could he pull a Michael Schumacher and get a podium every race at least?
Yeah, it could be on. Let me oh, I got some weird jank setup going on my phone. So you're gonna have to excuse me a moment.
Oliver's not racing with line.
Who? Oliver? Oliver
Yeah,
F1?
Yeah, he's just said.
Mr.
Just saying it's my
Penalties
first
himself.
time. Yes. Just saying it's my first race without line. So.
Whose race?
Oliver's first race without line. So most likely trying to run no assists.
Okay.
And I'm wondering why we're
Williams in the
showing-
mud, Magnus not here, Evan not here. Yeah, I mean, we're missing a few people.
Who you are?
Just 19 seconds of pens, it's okay. I mean, I like the mindset, but I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, 18 would be smaller than 19.
Who's not in? Evan was having problems and Jetpack couldn't get in because no one sent him invites.
Ooh, oh my god, the numbers have just spiked. Welcome everyone. Round 3,
Wow.
Season 6, one with the virtual. Imola. Good, decent race. Yeah, but 19 is a cooler number. Fair play, Chief, fair play. I mean, you might want to go with 45 to match your Twitch username, but I think at that point you get disqualified, so maybe don't go for 45.
Yeah, you can get a 45. Maximum I'm pretty sure you can't get is 30 before the game starts to disqualify you. Predicted safety car race.
Was just about to say verify. Do comms with him quite a lot. So has that little bit of commentator's curse in him. He predicts a safety car race, so I beg we don't have the safety car race, because I'm going to be very sad.
We're going to have a safety car because he crashes out. That's what he's basically saying.
I do not want a wet safety car race.
Yes, verify, I swear.
Verify says also ace. Why, what did you say?
It's gonna be a safety car race because he crashes out.
Williams is gonna win. There's no Williams. Oh, there's one Williams.
Tristan.
Sorry, Tristan.
Evan can't join.
The teammates are arguing. Mum, the brothers are arguing.
It's, fucking, Magnus is the team principal. So if they argue a bit too much, someone might be getting sacked.
Lads, I don't mind a bit of banter, but remember, it's only the third race into the season. They will sack you. I'm sorry I'm being quite quiet. I'm trying to down a pizza quickly before we get in the race, but it does help that there's a few technical issues, so...
Yeah, waiting till 10 past and then we're starting. At least I can finish my pizza then.
We're both eating pizza before the race starts. It's lovely. It's a work of art. No, who's joined? No, please don't tell me we're going to start now that Evan's here. No!
No, we're waiting till 10 past, don't worry.
Thank God I could just down these pieces of pizza. Hold on. So just to start a little bit of a conversation before the race. First of all, welcome everyone. Second of all, Mattia Bernardo is going to be Sack's opinions.
I'm happy. You ruined the time.
Don't worry, we won't be eating pizza in the race.
Oh yeah, you remember Colour Science?
Yeah, Carlos
Wasn't
Sainz,
it?
absolute goat.
He's been banned.
Huh?
Yes.
What did he do?
He wasn't checked in for Mexico. And he also tried taking out, Oliveira.
What, banned from the whole league or just this race?
Oh, entire league.
Oh.
So, I think you might be upset. You liked him.
I liked him quite a lot, yeah, he's a good driver. He wasn't like Troy level dominance, but he wasn't like bad.
Yeah. Other things that have happened, Charlie isn't reserve, but he's just driver now.
Yeah, he's full time. He told me at the end of the first race that they were going to replace him. And Ace has crashed. Lovely. Joke's on you guys. I've already eaten all my pizza. I literally just finished it as we're about to start and Ace gets kicked. Not kicked, he got booted out for network restraints. Let me see if I can quickly invite him. Nope, it won't let me even invite him. Fuck, my team is ganging up against me. You gotta be very careful with your TPs, I'm so sorry. I usually don't eat during commentating, but I had to down a pizza, okay? I had a late dinner. But we're gonna get underway now, as Ace returns. Do you need another invite?
Yeah, please.
I will try.
I just can't join at the moment because you're betting up.
Tristan, I can get you out of my team. No. Yes. No. Yeah, this is going to be a constant argument throughout the whole stream. Like, you're going to have people talking, and it's just going to be like, no, yes, no, yes, in between all the chat messages. You now support... You support to eat a pizza and not down it. What?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
I think it's like you're meant to enjoy a pizza, not just neck it. Well... What else was I meant to do? Right, let me try and invite you back. Hold on.
No, it's fine. I've got invites already.
Plug.
But it's not let me join.
Right, let's take a look. Well, actually, let's not take a look at tires, because look at this. You can't join.
Nope.
Wow, you're just going to have to watch the stream. Because that's what I had to do in Mexico. I had to watch the stream and commentate off the stream. Because the lobby, I got stuck in the race director and I had to leave.
No, it's saying I can't join. I don't have another invite.
Yeah, you might just need to commentate off the stream. That's what I'm saying. You might need to just be. You might just need
That's
to.
settings you went into. Thank you very much. You need to go into invites and just go with the fans. You should have
Oh,
me
hold
on
on,
with them.
I'm gonna try and invite you. I
Yeah,
invited you.
thank you.
People
I
going
got
out
no
now.
one from Fraser.
Charlie's going out on the mediums.
Oh.
Well, huh? Whoa. Fuck and Tristan, respectfully, stop arguing. um, or do whatever. Why is Charlie out on the mediums? I usually don't check tires,
Tires, yeah.
but why is Charlie on the mediums? Very strange. Let me turn off the telemetry so that the TikTokers could get some good clips.
Did you say telemetry?
Telemetry.
Telemetry.
Telemetry. Whatever. Pronunciations. Oh my god. Charlie
I
out on
don't.
mediums. It's going to be him across the line first, actually. He's gone out first on the medium compound. I don't know why. Is there a strat to having going out on the mediums?
Cameron, I just want to say this. There is no N in telemetry.
Telemetry.
No, there is no N.
I'm saying mentry. Mentry.
There is no
Mentry.
N. There is no N.
M. Letter
There,
M.
there is no N.
No, I'm on about M, not N. I'm on about HIJKLMN. I'm on about the first one, and Charlie's has invalidated on his first lap on the mediums. I don't know why. The mediums would be more slidey because the softs were more grippy. So it was a very interesting strategy to begin with. Mama Zelda, or the Haas behind Charlie, is going through now to be setting a lap in sector 2. It's currently a 138. It's a 40-second lap time going into my favorite complex of corners, Aqua Minerale. Absolutely beautiful set of corners. You take them just so nicely, so smooth. It's mwah, chef's kiss. You can tell the Italians made it. But now going down one of the straighter parts of the track, going down towards, I forget what they call these corners. They're like the Lesmos at Monza, but they have a very similar name to Lesmos, but I don't remember. The Ravazzas? They might be called the Ravazzas. I don't remember, but it's a 1:15.722 from Mama Zelda setting the first lap of the bunch. It's going to be a Williams across the line next, I think, to set lap. It might be Victor. I think it was invalid as it's goes a 1:15.964, goes P2 in the AlphaTauri. Red Bulls, lots of cars crossing the line. Seems to be all invalid though. 2 Mercedes now. I think some actually back into the pit lane. That was Charlie, I think, into the pit lane there. To get off those medium tyres. Or the Monster. Charlie's still out on the mediums.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's determined to go on those mediums.
Both
of the Alfa Romeos go. Josh Tomo 1:16.172. Victor goes fastest 1:15.711. Going back to the Alfa Romeos quickly and how they've just been split by Emerson with a 1:16.920. FVRL Paranoid, Big Boss himself, has joined us today. A 1:17.078. His lap time. Hasn't raced since season 4. No. Last season, Abu Dhabi, I believe it was. Ace has disconnected again, which is, I don't know why that is. Oliveira sets a 1:29.010. Unrepresentative lap time for him. I'm actually managing to keep up. There is a Red Bull in the wall somewhere on the track. I have just witnessed it. It also seems there's a Mercedes in the wall. Is it Oliver or Charlie? Yes, it is. Charlie, still on those mediums. I don't know what's happening there. Maybe playing up wheel or something. I don't know. Interesting scene nonetheless. Final Flame, a 1:15.991 lap time set there in the Ferrari, taking him to P4. Let's take a look at who is that about to go across the line. I think it's Paranoid in the pit lane actually. There's an Alpine. I'm going to try and catch it. It's of Victor going into the pit lane. Let's put the pressure on for someone who's on a lap currently. Fraser Fishy in the McLaren going through my Aqua Minerale, going to take it very nicely, not invalidate on exit. Done pretty well there. Ace has returned once again. Good day, mate. Going into the awkward chicane now, does it very high speed as well, and manages it pretty well. Going to go down to the Ravatsas now, after going down the very short straight with a hump on it. Going to go Ravatsa 1, Ravatsa 2. Going to go down and not get in the signs trap. Very, very good. I'm going to go take the line now, and it's a 1:15.469 for Fraser Fisher. Done pretty well there. Who was that putting it up there? I think Marin. How did we say his name last time, Ace?
Margin.
Margin going 1:15.983, going P6. Oliver F1 at 1:16.170 in the Aston Martin. Oliveira improved. That was it. 1:15.949 for Oliveira. Done a pretty schnasty job there. Schnasty being a good thing. Hello all 21 of you. Welcome to qualifying for Imola, round 3 of season 6 of Formula Virtual. I always start on Formula Virtual. I don't know if I say FV, Formula Virtual. One of them comes out, but it usually ends up in a little bit of stuttering. But welcome nonetheless, all you engineers, all you drivers, everyone and everything. Welcome. Josh Tomo, you've yet to given me a weather report, and I've just noticed you've pulled into the pit lane. Josh Tomo, where's my weather report?
I can't see qualifying because of him. It's saying that he's still loading somehow.
Oh! Sandstorm.
Yeah.
I've caught him at a bad
stream.
time. He is just smacked into, and thank God there's no rear wing damage. Sandstorm's
Oh yeah, they can't be anymore, can they?
Slowest of the bunch. No, they turned down the damage, I believe. The monster puts her lap time on the boards with a 1:16.184. Sandstorm made a sandstorm. Hashtag sandstorm moment. We'll bring that back. Verify on a lap. Going into sector 2, to the corner that I love the most, and I'm going to keep saying it because it's such an elegant complex of corners. Aqua Minerale, ladies and gentlemen. Very challenging. Well, it's challenging to a degree. Don't invalidate on it. In the race, it's a bit more penalty central, but then still. No, it's no line in the box. What? I'm lost in my brain. Verify the pressure's on
no
you.
racing line into the box.
Oh, yeah, there's no racing line into the box. CPI Troy, there we go. That's what we expected from him. Fastest of the bunch, 1:15.302. As Verify pits under the pressure of me observing him. One man who I said I would observe is Paranoid. But I think he's a bit paranoid to go back out on track at the minute. I'll keep my eye on him. We will watch an onboard lap from Paranoid. We'll give a quick appreciation there to Troy going the fastest of the bunch. With a 1:15.302 as previously stated. Doing pretty well for himself in the minute, coming off 2 race wins. Can it be a third today?
Maybe. Well, we did see in F2 yesterday Mitra's streak of wins.
Is it going to be domination in F1 and F2 across the season?
Maybe.
Ooh, it's a 1:15.356. That's
wow.
Some pace there from Ids in Imola today. Could be an unsuspecting top 3. Evan also there improving a 1:15.866. But Ids taking me by surprise there. Where has that pace come from?
I have no clue.
If that can be transferred into the race, then I mean, would love to see a shock winner. Hey, look, it's Paranoid. He's on track. Good day, Paranoid.
Yay.
Let's get in this cockpit camera and see what you can do. A lap on board with the big boss Paranoid in Alfa Romeo. Teaming up with Josh Tomo today. Going to take the Ravatsas before going to go on the proper lap. And done a nice long warm-up lap there to get the tyres in the right tyre range. Dead ground here isn't too bad, so you can afford a longer out lap. I'm going to be taking what is technically turn 1, but I'm not going to count turn corners because of it. Into the first S structure. Ooh, a little bit squirrely on the exit there. Catches a little bit of sausage curb. I'm going to go down the little transitional straight into another set of S's. This one a little bit harder because the gravel's still there, but it's right there in the direction you're heading towards. You've got to direct that car like he is now going up the hill. You've got to direct that car, get that car rotated into the uphill. Very hard to do sometimes, especially with a lot of cars in that section going round. This U sort of shape here going out into Aqua Minerale. I've got to sort of let the car coast through it like he's done there pretty well. Could take a little bit more of the runoff, and he's avoided the lap. Maybe didn't feel confident about something on that lap. Was it the Aqua Minerale exit, or I don't know what that was, but he ain't got a lot of time to do it. Actually, he's got a bit of time, actually. 6 minutes, 23 seconds is enough time to get a few more laps in. But we will cut back to Paranoid when he feels like setting another lap. Actually, he might set another lap. Is he going to go into the pits? If he doesn't go into the pits, we'll keep an eye on. Attempt number 2 for Paranoid. Here we go. We'll go on an off-board view this time. Going to be going down the straight, taking it very close to the wall, which is the preferred-ish racing line. Down into the first S structure again, tempting it a bit better, taking a little bit of sausage curb, which you can do, a little bit less slidey that time. Definitely looked a lot stronger. Going into the second S structure now, taking a little bit curb, takes it pretty well at pretty decent speed as well. Going now into the uphill hairpin, doing that relatively flawlessly. Takes a little more runoff than I would personally, but still no major time loss just yet. No big slides or anything. Down through the U into Aqua Minerale now. This is where he aborted the lap last time, so maybe Aqua Minerale is proving a little bit of trouble with the coast through. Hits the sausage curb, gets pretty good amount of exit. Doesn't invalidate either, so we'll be going into the chicane. You got to nail this chicane with the right amount of speed and the right amount of taking exit. And he has done that now. Down a little bit of a victory straight now as you come over the hill into the Ravazzas. Ravazza 1 taken pretty well, avoiding the sunshine. A little bit of sliding from the rear end. Ravazza 2 also taken well, avoiding the gravel. Going to be taking it to the line as close to the wall as he can get. It's going to be a 1:16.960. No positional improvement, but Paranoid doing pretty well.
Yeah, not a bad lap from him. It's not on
pace with the others, sadly, but it is still better than I would ever do. So at least Paranoid has one up on me, and who was that? That was the Monster. 1:15.659 for the Monster. I'm putting in a very... oh, excuse me. My throat has just spontaneously combusted. Putting in a good lap there for Mercedes. Charlie's still yet to set a lap. I know he's one of the people who comes out slightly later. Hopefully not out again on the mediums. Speaking of coming out, it is going to be Mama Zelda, I think, coming out the pit lane now. Yes, it is. It was a Haas. I had a 50-50. Actually, there's a... Yeah, I had a 50-50.
What were you going to say? There's only
What?
2 Haas cars.
Yeah, I 50-50'd one of the Hasses, and I was like, oh, one of them's coming out the pit lane. I guess it's Mama Zelda now. And I just spoke it into existence.
Oh, yeah.
But everyone's in the pits as they're going to wait until about the 3-minute mark to go out, set the final lap, because, of course, you set the last lap, you get the most advantages. You're the last one across the line, you get the best track evolution, you get, of course, and then you have no one to worry about smashing your time in.
Yeah.
As the Monster's coming into the pit lane now. It's going to be quite close. 3 minutes now on the dot. You'll see a lot of drivers coming out. I see a Red Bull. Mercedes just gone past. Haas sliding out there of CPI Troye. Alfa Romeo in of Paranoid. So what's your prediction for the top 5, Ace? How do you see this last few laps panning out?
What is the top 5 at the moment? It's...
CPI Troy, it's Fraser, Victor, the Monster.
I don't know the order, but I would say Troy, Eds, Fraser, Josh, Vector. I don't know the order of that though.
Ooh, you're saying 5. Josh is going to put in a lap and a half. Is that Josh coming out now? Oh, a Williams and an Alpine. Josh has just come out the pit lane as a Williams and an Alpine get a bit close. That they sit inside each other there for a little bit of a moment. It is on a lap currently. Just went 6/10 down on the time, but it's nothing positional. He's come out in front of a lot of traffic, which he has managed to avoid. Maybe not the most optimal racing line. Down the straight, and what has happened there? Oh my goodness! Jesus Christ, the way he came across the camera. That looked, that was like Charles Leclerc, Paul Ricard. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, of course, like France. He's just come to Egon off though.
That won't be into that. It will sadly won't give him. I don't think he'll get another chance to go round. If he put, actually, he might. He has time. He has time.
He'll have time to get mine for one more lap.
But those
as long as
tyres
he
won't
keeps
be
going.
optimal. Yeah, but he's got
Tyres will most likely hurt him quite a bit.
Malmo
more
Zelda. Oh, another Haas. Not another Haas. Another car
Ooh.
gone into the barriers. Just getting a lot out of shape after the Ravazza 2. There. Oliveira improves a little bit there, going up to P6, 1:15.670. Everyone else on laps now. I see Josh Tomo. Josh Tomo's still weaving. So he will be... he went for 2 out laps, it seems, as this will probably be the last. As you see them all clumping up to try and get through. I can't tell how long's left because they're all busy weaving. I can't...
30 seconds.
Less than 30 seconds. Malmo Zelda has retired from the session. The Monster's on an invalidated lap. Will he get round to the flag in time? He's going full speed, 15 seconds. Oh, he'll get there. Will Charlie be able to get round? Is Charlie putting in a competitive lap time? He is. Charlie's putting in a competitive lap time. He slewed it out the second Ravazza. He's gonna abort, but that's the checkered flag. He's going to have to settle for P16 and 1:16.776. Not what he would have wanted. Alpine across the line, Lex of Verify going to take the line from the pit lane. Haas across the line of CPI Troy. 1:15.140 is the final time to beat there. I think it's Victor. No, not Victor. It's the Haas. The Haas. So the Alpine still going into the pit lane, the monster! Oh my god, there's some people on the grass as well. What is happening at the end of this qualifying session? McLaren into the garage, Williams about to come across the line, going pretty slow though, so it may be an abort. It's an abort. It's a red track, invalid lap. Josh Tomo gonna set the lap. Is it gonna be anywhere up where you think? No, it's a 1:15.829. Williams into the pit lane, Alpine into the pit lane, a lot of people into the pits, Ferrari coming across the line, a final flame. Fraser Fishy into P2, 1:15.267, and I think that's qualifying.
Yeah, unless Jack and Oliver are on laps.
Jack and Oliver, sorry, they're still on laps. Oliver's aborted. Jack's invalid, and the monster crashed out earlier in the lap, so he's 18 seconds up on his time.
Yeah, so that is going to be qualifying over, and I might actually be able to get into the session for once.
Nice.
And see some cars.
Wow. What happened towards the end of that qualifying session? Biblical scenes is what happened. As Evan is just going to park up into the pit lane, and we will... get going on to the race. No sprint race this weekend. Onto the main thing straight away. 31 laps of pure racing action, I believe, is the lap count. I've never seen this camera angle before. P2 there, it says for Fraser Fishy.
That's a Neo Geos cam. That doesn't look right.
Yeah, it was very weird. The last section on the outlap was very crowded. Oh yeah, I saw. Paranoid said that. But yes, quick recap of how it's going to be. Recap on how it's starting. CPO Troy P1, Fraser Fishy P2, it's P3, Victor P4, the Monster P5, Oliveira P6, Malmo Zelda P7, Final Flame P8, Margin P9, Josh Tomo P10, Evan P11, Tristan P12, Jack P13, Oliver P14, Paranoid P15, Verify P16, Charlie P17, and Sandstorm plays Rounding up the pack, P18. All
1.1
eyes on
seconds off
Paranoid. Well, no. All eyes on CBI Troy and Fraser Fishy at the front. My eyes, though, on Paranoid. Paranoid, give us a performance. No, don't say that. You'll be fine, Paranoid. Ace, you have left the session again.
I know, I'm left on purpose.
Paranoid is now stressing in the chat. Paranoid, do not crash it on the first lap and you'll be fine.
I can finally see cars again.
Way! Cars on a track! What was it Ted Gravis said? Cars on a track, not in a video game. Real cars, real track. Well, video game cars, video game track. Let's get it.
Well, hopefully I can. It's trying to load.
Oh god. You might have to do what I did in Mexico. And then that race obviously went the way it did. Let me try and invite you again, hold on.
No, I'm in, it's fine.
Okay, you're in. Race starts. 1 second. We have until the formation lap where I'm going to recap the tyres because I'm going to remember this time. I don't need Matty to tell me. The tyres, this is the tyre. Oh, I accidentally went back. Oh, I accidentally went forward. Tyre situation, it's mediums for the whole field except for Evan, Verify and Charlie on the hards, obviously. Is a hard soft possible at Imola?
It's not Evan, that's soft.
Pardon?
It's not on the hard, it's Josh.
It's not possible to do hard and soft, was that?
No, it's Josh on the hards.
Oh, yeah, Josh Tomo on the hard, sorry. Yes. That's what I meant. Sorry, your mic went a bit funny, so I was just trying to, like, you said it, and then I was, like, trying to combobulate what it was. But, yeah, sorry, Josh Tomo on the hards. Hard soft could be possible. I don't remember. Matty would obviously tell you if it is or not, but...
I have up moment. It is possible.
It is possible to do a hard soft.
Yeah.
Well.
If you want tyres to reach 70%. Because I have all the data on my screen at the moment. And the softs for the last 9 laps, and the hards for the last 23, which would be 32 overall.
You are lagging, my friend, I think.
Fun.
Big fun. Paranoid has not binned it on the formation lap just yet.
Yay.
Williams underperformed in quali, so they can only do better in the race. Predicted race strategy, mediums to hard, soft mediums to mediums. Oh, and there's a Hass-off. Okay, it's not Paranoid, it's fine. I think it might be Mama Zelda. But the real question, can Paranoid park a car? We've seen the rest of the grid park car. Can Paranoid, reserving for Alfa Romeo today, has he got the skills to pay the bills, to abstain from the list, as I call it? Troy, Sandstorm can't park. Oliver can't park. Paranoid can park a car. Congratulations, Paranoids. Jack can't park a car. Very, very sad, but we're going to get going. 5 red lights, and we're green in Imola, and I have the worst camera angle of this possible. Fraser Fishy, though, I think getting a pretty good start on Troy as they go side by side down towards turn 1, as the monster making pretty big gains there on IDS. Oh, I need to someone just cut across the gravel there. I don't know.
Must have cut across completely. It's taking his back, had to give it off. Victor getting past final 3 going to turn 5. There's
a lot of side by side. Ferrari, they're getting shoved into the gravel. Maybe a little bit temperamental there. Tristan dropping a few positions. Victor down 3 positions at the moment, but your leaders at the front currently, CPI Troy, Fraser Fishers, they're about to go into Aqua Minerale, but I doubt there'll be much change of positions. Fraser Fishy already pulling 1 second to Ids. It's pretty much going to be a race between these front two, I argue, as they've already pulled away quite massively from the rest of the pack. Who is this back here? I'm seeing an overtake from Evan. And there, Oliver. It looked like it was about to be Oliver just managing to slide on his way out of that. But here is Evan in the Williams. With the Williams TP in the chat, he will want to be performing the best he can to please his TP, his CPI Troy, of course, obviously, setting the fastest lap. Who is that already into the pits? Victor, with damage. Was there a collision there between an Alpine and lap 1? Do you know, Ace?
I'm looking at it currently, and yes, there's no left end to it, so it's not the pit. And
Oliveira in the gravel trap. Oh, sorry, in the signs trap. And gets a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. I assume that will be removed. I think that will be removed. Josh Tomo sniffing the backside of Final Flame. Those Ferrari fumes going into Aqua Minerale. Aqua Minerale really not an overtaking spot, I argue, but definitely not impossible to overtake through here, as there's a Red Bull and a Williams of Tristan getting a bit rowdy behind. Tristan trying to pull out onto the grass nearly, trying to get the move done on the grass through the chicane, pushes the Red Bull across the chicane, picking the 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Jack getting a bit aggressive there with it. They're getting a bit argy-bargy with each other going into the Ravazzas. Ravazza 1's taken pretty fine, but it's going to be TTL Jack in front, and Tristan taking extra measures to avoid contact, has now conceded to Oliver. As DRS gets enabled, they're looking to enable that lap 2 next year. So, fun fact. But that is how it is for now, as Tristan trying to get back on Oliver is going to do it under braking into the S section, and it's done pretty well, but he's spun on a sausage curb and taken Oliver with him. And Oliver's further spun him round. He's going to drive right across the racing line, but he's lucky. Victor is a pit stop behind him. And Jack as well has just spun. Wow, all the cars have actually dodged him very well there. And there's another spinner, and it's Evan. Spun round, both Williams have been relegated to the back. And Oliveira. Yeah, Oliveira.
By Sandstorm now. What is
Oliveira has just been overtaken by Sandstorm. Sandstorm pulling out the plays. I cut off as soon as I said Sandstorm. The GOAT, but then...
Don't worry, trust the process. Nope, I'm not trusting the process here.
Fuck says, don't worry, trust the process. I don't think Tristan is at the minute. Yellow flag in Sector 3, it's a Williams! It's Tristan! It's not Sandstorm. To be fair,
it wasn't
Sandstorm. Sandstorm, it just did get a little touch of the gravel trap, putting him behind Oliver. But Sandstorm is not at the back and constantly spinning. I think this is new peak Sandstorm. This is like it's unprecedented to what we've seen in Mexico with in the first race of the season. That was constantly spinning. Portimao spinning every time at that same spot. At least there's some improvement.
He did a practice earlier with the likes of Fraser and all. Might have had a bit more.
Might have had an effect on him, is what you're saying. The talent of Fraser Fishy and others may have rubbed off on him. Oh, yellow flags! It's a Williams! It's gonna be overtaken by Victor, who was a pit stop behind the rest of the pack. Williams may be hitting themselves as he spins again. I'm looking at Oliveira of Verify, as they were in a little bit of a fight. I think Verify actually got past. Or I don't know if Oliveira was chasing Verify or if Verify was chasing Oliveira. But something may have happened there. I wasn't paying attention because I was looking at the spinning Williams. But
Final Flame though.
Final Flame going to Final Flame.
He's got him in the inside.
If only Hamilton could have done that.
I need to move west.
I'm sorry, all the Hamilton fanboys, but Final Flame did what Hamilton couldn't.
A spin-off from
Ooh, for Oliver. Yeah. Jack's retired.
Jack.
Is he crashed? Is that going to be a safety car?
I'm looking at all to see if I can see the car.
Oh yeah, it's a crash. It's off the racing line, so I do, at worst, VSC, but I doubt there will be any issues there.
Something happened with Vector.
Nope. All cleaned up, and we're going to get going. Tristan's come in for an early pit stop. I think it will probably be onto hard tyres. Could you check that for me? Oh, what? A Williams being lapped on lap 6? Lap 6, and there might already be lappings.
This could be like Latifi.
Did you just say this could be Latifi?
Yes.
Also, rest in peace to go. Sad he had to retire. Crying right now.
I didn't get him past. I think Oliveira got past.
Oliveira got past Verify, yes. Down the straight with DRS. It was a pretty nice move, if I dare say so myself.
Easy fast. Oliver in as well.
I'm just looking about to see what moves there are to be made. Did you say Victor on Oliver? Or no, Oliver was in the pits.
Oliver,
what tyres is Tristan on?
Tristan's not hard.
Tristan, what tyres is he on?
Hards.
Hards, and Oliver I assume is going on to hards?
Yeah.
He
is on hards.
Ace, don't worry, Josh will crash soon. Finish, driver. Finished. Oh, finished. Not as in finish. Finished.
Oh,
Oliveira again on Verify. No, not on Verify. On Paranoid. Paranoid running into points. Paranoid has his 100% record of scoring points in every race he's competed in, and it will still stand at the current state as points go down to P12 now. I believe is what the new point scoring system is. But Oliveira, though, is going to snag that P10 off him into the braking zone of S's, and Paranoid is going to lag behind a little bit. The question is, can Verify get through and continue his fight with Oliveira? Because now Paranoid has just put a bit of a gap up between them, and he's actually being chased down by Evan as well in the Williams. So Verify really needs to get past Paranoid and doesn't need a big over-dramatic fight with him, because that will take him out of his fight. He's run wide there as well a little bit, actually. That would definitely be a warning, I would believe. Who was that? I swear I just saw a McLaren sliding about the joint. Evan's actually got up to Verify by an alarming amount in Aqua Minerale into the chicane. Aaron's going to take a little bit more sausage curb, but Verify, as you say, he did run wide a little bit. Is Evan going to get him with DRS? The gap you kind of need to overtake with DRS is about 6/10. And the fact that Evan has about 2/10 is very alarming to Verify, and sounds the whoop whoop overtake alarm, and Ace is disconnected again. But Evan has now gotten past Verify. Let me just check in with the chat. Nope. Just calling Josh Tomo washed. Not what I said, what the chat said, Josh. I know you're in the stream. But you didn't tell me the weather. I don't think Josh is even in the stream. I'm very sad if he isn't. Malma Zelda and the monster fighting through Aqua Mineral. Fighting. Following each other through Aqua Minerale. What a recovery from Evan. I mean, yeah. I don't think he dropped too many places. Malma Zelda taking the quote-unquote esports line, although I believe that was the last game, Malma Zelda. I don't think you could do that in this one. I believe they patched it. Tristan has retired from the session in the pit lane, or in the pit straight. I think it's in the pit lane. I'd hope it's in the pit lane. I think he's crashed. Yeah, he's crashed. No, he hasn't crashed. He retires in the pit lane. Spins and is still in P12. Yeah! And oh, that's on the track. That's going to be VSC minimum.
Ooh.
Full safety car.
Oh.
Ids was having such a great qualifying, such a great race as well. And then it's just a shame to see it all go by lap 9. Tristan retiring for Williams. Evan in the points now because of that untimely crash, sadly. But that was the scene of the crash. But yeah, very, very sad. I'm gonna steal Matt. Well, I'm not gonna steal Matty's idea because it was my idea originally that Matty stole. You guys can ask me any questions, and I will answer them honestly. Sandstorm's gonna take a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. Let's take a quick look at tyres, as I assume everyone's going to come into pit for hard, as it's essentially a free pit stop. So Olivero 10 seconds, Sandstorm with 3. Those are the only running penalties at the moment. Ace, you have any comments on the race so far?
No, I haven't seen part of it. Due to disconnects. Not everyone is fine, except Troy and Frizz, but they're the only ones staying out for now.
But yeah,
also, have I disconnected everyone just?
We just get a moment of calm. Let's just give the people the shots they want. Here you go, guys. There are all your drivers. Well, most of them. And here come the rest. And I haven't really done this very well. But there are all your drivers. They're kind of all really spaced out. Hopefully the safety car does do a good job of bunching them up. But yeah, this Alpine's really far back. Yeah, Jesus Christ, some of them are quite far back. Yes. Yeah, I'm just going to take a breather. I mean, F1 news is what I usually do in this segment of the race. I guess, F1 news time.
Yeah.
I mean, the season's over, so there isn't much F1 news because the season's over. I mean, F1 news, Mattia Bonotto, as I said at the start of the stream, resigning from, allegedly, with rumours resigning from Ferrari as the team principal. I still have not heard an official statement, although it was said by an Italian magazine or something that there was rumors that there was gonna be an announcement in the hours of that day, but I do not remember seeing an announcement officially. So unless it's all gone down behind the scenes, I do not know. But
yeah, I haven't seen official yet, but there's.
I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. That's the thing.
The official Friday account as well posted that these rumors are fake. Stop saying them.
What, these rumors are fake? Stop saying them.
Yeah, it was about him being sacked though.
Yeah.
So it could be different.
How long ago was it though? Because I remember they put out a thing a while ago, maybe a month ago of them saying it.
A week and a half, I think.
Oh. Oh, yeah, it would make sense, because that was before the last Grand Prix, they were all saying it.
Yeah.
And then, oh, no, but this was I saw a tweet and it was F1 break, it was according to
Okay.
Italian newspaper, and then it sourced the newspaper, Mattia
Yeah.
Binotto is allegedly resigning from Ferrari team principal role or something. I don't know.
And stuff.
But that's the only F1 news as it stands. This safety car is coming in this lap. If we have another safety car, I may state something that maybe I shouldn't state. Not because I shouldn't state it. Well, it is because I shouldn't state it. It's not because I can't state it for bad reasons. Because I can't state it because it's a top secret project. Top secret. It's a project we're working on, which we haven't said much about. But if another safety car happens, I will talk about it. I'll say a word or two about it. Paranoid, trying to keep the gap. He had the smallest gap there, as CPI Troy has now gone and gapped Fraser Fishy by a relatively significant amount.
Wow. Josh
Pretty
Thomas, going
Yeah.
towards the right hand side, having the duck back in.
It's not
Still
going to
not
be a good
really
line. It's
right
actually
side, he
really
has that.
wow. Fair play, Josh
Wow.
Tomo. Great overtake.
I think I am back on it though.
Wow. Oh, what's
That
happening back
is
here?
definitely
Sandstorm! No!
Sandstorm.
And verify. Sandstorm running good race. Charlie getting
Trying
a
to flame
bit
and
side by
side
side with
but,
Final Flame. Going into Aqua Minerale shortly. Going around the U, it's Charlie in front. Final Flame taking a narrow line through the U to try and get any advantage there, but it's not coming to be. Charlie does hit a little bit of a sausage curb, but hasn't slowed him down enough for Final Flame to catch up. Ferk saying Alpine Karma, we love it. No further comments shall be made. Malvo Zelda tailing Margin. And Margin spins. Is that a reset to track as well, or was that lag?
No, it was just he just drove back on us. But I think there might have been contact between him and trying to get as well here in the US currently, but yeah, it's just flowing past him with overspeed.
Charlie,
Might be
11
able to get
positions
Josh's there.
gained. Doing
Yeah, I've just noticed that as well.
very good.
P17.
He said he was going to bring the fight to Troy. I would say you win by being consistent. And if Troy wasn't as consistent as he is, then I would say Charlie's in for a good shot. The sad reality is that Troy has finished first in the last two races, and he was last season's champion by winning most of those races.
Yeah, Troy's in the hard, but Charlie's on the mediums.
Hey, Oliver gets the first penalty of the session. His first penalty of his session. This could be record-breaking for Oliver if it's below 18.
My Charlie already. That's going the
Charlie's just storming through. I'm looking at Final Flame though right now. Coming right up behind Margin, going down the straight now. Troy's just going to 118, 124.
1.8 second gap already.
1.8 second gap. Jesus Christ. We're not even halfway through the race yet.
Yeah. Crazy.
Honestly, yeah, I mean, it's been pretty good racing though. I mean, Imola, I always end up commentating Imola, but like, I don't know why I remember Imola so much. I guess Imola does give some good racing, but it's still not the best. Jacob in the chat, yup, the Alfa Romeo. I don't know what yup, the Alfa Romeo means, but yup, the Alfa Romeo. Final Flame has solved. Josh Tomo? He seems alive. I mean, Josh Tomo, he's currently driving down towards the Ravatzes. He's like alive, no front wing damage. Rear wing looks fine.
Yeah,
not that you can get. Does somebody remember my P18 to P6 in Imola? Depends how long ago it was. Because I have really bad case of I cannot remember. And oh, Sandstorm
He is about to be
is
lapped.
being lapped. As Williams and
Well.
Alpine are fighting.
Oh,
Oh, the monster!
The monster off as well. Surely I just noticed smoke's going off.
Oh, and Charlie as well.
Yeah, both smoke's going off, but
I didn't. I thought Charlie, because I
Salmon.
was watching the fight between Evan and Victor. I thought Charlie was the monster. 2 to 3 seasons ago, or 4. I will not remember because I was not around that long ago. If it was that long ago, Charlie then going to have to fight back for this position as Ace disconnects again. My man has dodgy Wi-Fi. I could just sign him off for the evening and say, yeah, take a break. Ooh, a little bit weedy there from Oliver, but I'm gonna say it's not bad as he gets a little bit of the backhand snap out. Ace is back. Hello. You're having a bit of a moment today, aren't you?
I don't like this.
Charlie for Oliver down the straight. Paranoid looked close for a moment, but I don't think it will be. It was further away than I thought. As Charlie's going to get by Oliver with ease as Final Flame. Nope, so Oliveira looking very close to Final Flame. So definitely a battle to watch as they approach, as they're on their way. Very long way, I will say, but on their long way back to the main straight, which is probably where we'll see the overtake manifest. But still, the monster somehow messaging in the PlayStation chat while racing. Don't know how he does it. Sandstorm picks up another 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. Josh Tomo picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. I think we'll start seeing those track limit penalties start coming in now after the drivers start to get a little bit sloppy. What game was it I was playing today? Well, there'll be an overtake down the straight probably. Victor on Oliveira probably. But I was playing so many different games today. I was playing actually this is gonna be very close to the overtake. I'm gonna stop my rambling. Victor's gonna cut the chicane, but get the overtake. I think it was illegal, so we had to hand it back. But I was playing Gran Turismo 7, and there was a race because they have the Gran Turismo Championship going on right now for the 25th anniversary. They made me do this race, and I could get 1,000,000 credits. And oh my goodness, like, it was so painful. 7 laps never felt any longer than it did. Like, oh my god. And then I bought a set of Corsa Competizione, because it's Italian, isn't it? A set of Corsa Competizione. Not Competizione, it's Competizione, I think.
Italian.
It's Italian, whatever it is. But that's all endurance racing. I didn't realize, but I need to start watching because it's all GT3. I was like, oh, maybe I'll give GT3 a watch sometime.
Going past easily would do it best on.
Yeah, I was watching that. I've been watching that for a lap. The monster getting past Paranoid, knocking Paranoid out the point. Paranoid, you gotta keep this point streak going, man. Fight him back. Get him. Get him, Paranoid. You got this. Give it to him. It's only a Mercedes of the monster. He's only good at qualifying. Did you actually just go there? You know the monster probably is watching the stream.
No, sometime.
I've learned to never say anything negative about a driver unless they know you're joking. Like, the monster I have some respect for because the one memory I have of him is, bless him, in Baku, where I kept saying the monster first. I'll be like, oh, the monster, have an absolutely brilliant race, and then he
I
spins
remember.
two separate occasions, and I learned to never say anything bad about the monster ever again.
I remember that I was missing time and I said buddy,
Final
Monster's
flame
gonna
looks close for a moment, but coming out off the main straight, you're going to see that time start to grow again based on better exits of the corner, etc., etc.
first
But
closing in as well.
where is
And
Verify? Oh,
best.
Verify, P14. You're not Fernando Alonso. Get out of Fernando Alonso's way. Get a bit shapy there, Verify. I like just start. I like to talk. I like to do this thing where I talk to the drivers like very personally, like because I know they're in the stream. I'll be like, "Hey, Verify, don't mess up Aqua Minerale." No, he's done it pretty well to be fair. I'll be like, Verify, like Paranoid's in front of you, man. Like you crash him out, you realize you've taken up the big boss. Like you are gonzo if you take out Paranoid. Like. The
Yeah.
thing is, they can't respond to me but the thing is, in my mind, I know that they could hear me and they're probably responding to me,
Victor
and I can
Emergent.
only imagine
Turn
their
2.
responses. You are right. Victor and Margin do get each other. Hey, and Alpine getting past an AlphaTauri. Once again, Lewis Hamilton could not do that. Come on, Verify. Oh, Verify can't get Paranoid. Verify.
Aww.
Help Paranoid get back into the points. That is your duty. Oh, getting very close into the yeses. Whoa! I've made him spin.
Ow, that hurt my ears.
He will be having words with me after the race.
That hurt my ears.
What?
That hurt my ears.
He's probably yelling at me right now. He's probably like, Cameron, you son of a gun! Cameron! As he spins every time. That's probably what he's doing. And
Yeah,
then
he's
now,
probably
when I said that, he's probably vigorously nodding, going like, "Yep, I am saying that." This. Oh, I love imagining what drivers respond to what I'm saying.
Yeah, Bernardo's closing in on
I
front
was
flame
gonna
as
say,
well.
you commentate this. I need to go grab a drink.
Oh, we're getting past Final Flame, joined with Tamburello, staying ahead as well. Who else goes for moves that I can see? I don't think anyone is. Evans sitting there not able to put the mountain still with Victor as well. But none of them are able to get past currently. If I ping should come out, I think ahead of Sandstorm who does pit. So not too sure. They're all just the two in DRS currently they've 6/10 mark. I'm still trying to get past Oyo. I can't get past Charlie. 3-second time penalty though. Multiple tracking warnings.
Has Verified crashed yet?
No, he pit.
No offense to Verify, but the thing is,
What is
I know the next time me and Verify play COD, it will not be going down nicely. I believe who's picked up penalties?
Try to kill you.
Has Oliveira picked up a penalty?
Already had one at the 10 second.
Oh. Quick look, see at penalties. Who was that?
Going off Charlie, I think. No, it's the monster. Actually, who was that? It might have been Paranoid, actually.
No, Paranoid.
Not too sure.
Anyway, penalties. There they are. Because we all learn from our mistakes that if we don't show them enough, like we did not in Mexico, we can't apply them when stuff like Mexico happens. So, lesson learned.
Mexico. I was there. If I could ask more time penalties than Laura, would you believe me?
I would not believe you, but in this case, I will have to believe you because that is
The
true.
monster
The monster spies and paranoids back into the points. Let's go, paranoid! You love
I
to
called
see
it, didn't I?
You love to see it, paranoid.
7-second gap, no, I keep it there. Final flame again, past Oliver and the Tamburello as well.
Thing is,
So them two are just going over
Alright.
again and again.
call me arrogant, but sometimes I think I'm too good of a comedian, and if all the drivers had my stream on, they would be laughing so much they would spin. Like, sometimes I imagine that sometimes I just tell a really funny joke
Oh,
and
I've
the
done
drivers
that.
spin.
I've done that.
Have you actually?
Yes, I've had the stream on my phone. I forgot to mute it. And then when I've been laughing too much because of what you said, I think it was actually last season when the monster you being respectful there. Not specifying track or anything, but I think I had it
Yeah,
on
no,
and spun it.
oh, Oliver getting out of shape there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
either,
and
right?
spun it.
Oh,
Spun.
that's
Oliver,
6 seconds for Oliver now.
County man.
Oliver, like, I know your favorite number's 18, but we're currently on 6. This is single digits. If we can break single digits, man, think about how great of a record that would be. Oliver's gone into P4, going down into the braking zone of S's. Second S's, that is. No, first S's. Never mind, I can't count.
Oliver? That's Victor.
I said Victor.
You said Oliver.
I said Oliver, and then I went on to say, and Victor's gone into P4.
Oh, he's just set.
Final flame in the gravel.
Flame. No, he spun back on. He might be away.
He's lucky there was no McLaren there, like Danny Rick was.
Yeah.
I think Danny Rick crashed with Carlos Sainz. I think that's how it went.
That was Tamburello.
Damn it, wrong S's. God's sake. So many S's, man. So many S's. This track might as well be speaking snake language.
S. Well, it's just not Mexico or Japan. It's not Mexico or Japan at least.
Suzuka. Sure, Suzuka has so many S's in it already. The track might as well spell out Suzuka, and I probably haven't even realised. So many hairpins and S's.
The hairpins, the U, you know.
That's what I was alluding to, yes. That's what I meant by it might as well spell out Suzuka.
And with the B, you can get the A in that.
Yeah.
You probably could do that. Yeah, Paranoid, almost a 40-second gap behind him, so you might be retaining these points.
Who? Paranoid.
40-second gap behind
40-second gap. As long as Paranoid doesn't spontaneously combust, we will be fine. He's going through Aqua Minerale now. He shouldn't spontaneously combust in Aqua Minerale. We'll come back to him on the closing laps. Put your vote in for Driver of the Day. Mama Zelda votes? He pins on for soft. He doesn't vote for Driver of the Day because he's racing at the minute. Although I'd be very surprised if he does vote for Driver of the Day. Charlie has gone up, he was like up 11 positions, and then he went all the way to the back, and now he's back all the way up into P7. So he's actually done a pretty good.
Awesome,
He's done 2 recovery drives in the same race. But the thing is about doing 2 recovery drives in the same race is that you lose out on so many positions you would have had. So if Charlie didn't spin the first time, he probably could have been fighting for first with Troy right now. Speaking of, has Troy pit? He did. He pit under the safety car, did he not? Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He did.
Eyes on hard. Victor and Josh might not be able to go to the end though. I just noticed that.
Why are they on mediums?
Down mediums.
How old mediums? Josh
Maybe,
Tomo.
Josh is 3 second.
3 second time penalty. How many penalties is that now for Josh Tomo?
6, I think.
You're telling me Josh Tomo
It
has the
is.
same amount of penalties as Oliver F1, the penalty merchant?
Yes.
Oliver,
You don't want to do that.
what
Oh, it's in
you
the-
are?
Ooh, that's good.
Joshua Tomo. The plan was simple. Wait, is Paranoid gonna get Tomo and is Paranoid gonna get Josh Tomo?
Oh,
In
he
the pit lane?
is.
Oh, oh! Sorry, Josh.
I was gonna take my mum and dad as well, but he was behind him.
But Paranoid is
I
securely in the
data.
points.
I'm just gonna look at that again. We getting to the last 17 laps, meaning Charlie and Victor might not be able to go to the end.
Charlie and Victor might not be able to go. I think they can.
So Victor's on 18 lap old mediums. They're gonna be in puncture territory soon enough.
They are going to be in Spinella territory, and I can say Spinella because we're at Italy.
Spinella. Yes.
Actually, are we in Italy? Is Emilia Romagna in Italy?
Well, Imola is a separate country to it, but it is in. No,
It's like Monaco's capital is Monaco. Like Monaco's its own country,
Yeah.
but Monaco's just a city. So Monaco's capital is Monaco.
No, the country is San Marino, as it used to be called San Marino, Congo. It's now Imola, which is actually
So yeah,
in
San
Italy, so
Marino,
you're fine.
which is... How old are Victor's tyres? Hello, Aiden. Nice of you to show
19
yourself.
laps.
I will let you know. Here we go. There's
19
everyone's
laps.
tyres. Oliver F1 goes for the fastest lap.
I might be ignorant by
New tyres, new Oliver F1 it seems.
yeah, it really does.
Sandstorm, 3 second time penalty, multiple track limit warnings.
That's the 12.
The last time we saw that
12.
happen is then they got a 5 second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Hey Sandstorm, have you pit yet?
Yes.
Damn it.
He's on 3 lap old mediums.
Oh, so he just pit. Fair play.
Yeah. Okay, sometimes it's a lot. He's been lapped once, but how far missy?
How far lap? Is it bad? Paranoid gonna be under threat. Charlie spun. Oh, Charlie just getting really. Wait, is he out or is he spun? He looks like he's stuck in the wall.
Oh,
Paranoid holding off Mama Zelda can't go for much longer as Mama Zelda goes around the outside of the S. But Charlie's falling down the order. Really struggled to get back on the track there. Oh, Ace is disconnected mid-sentence. Absolutely lovely. Paranoid goes up a position but loses a position to Mamazona and now uses one to his teammate Josh Tomo. Possible team orders there from the team principal Bufferino Phil. I think Phil's in the stream. Phil, was that team orders there? I'm going to assume it wasn't. But it may have been. It may have been. Who knows? But Paranoid, nearly the person with the most position gained in this race due to Charlie's blunder. earlier. So we're on lap 30 or 32 with 2 laps remaining. Ace is going to rejoin us.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Ace. I was just merely observing as the monster picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple child warnings. And Charlie Pitts making Paranoid and Margin tied for the most positions gained.
Ooh, that's gonna be good.
And Margin has now just gotten the most positions gained due to a blunder made by Victor. And Aqua Minerale has claimed a victim. And it is an Alpine. And Evan is approaching very quickly behind with a Ferrari tailing, and the Alpine spun in the middle of the chicane. That looked very bad there for a moment in time. And now Evan is still fighting there with Oliveira. Sorry, Evan, that was a horrible camera work angle. Evan is still fighting there with Final Flame as we go on to, I think, the second to last lap as Victor spins again. Yes, lap 31 or 32. Where is Troy? Never mind. Is it lap? No, that's the other Haas. Okay, I'm having existential crisis. The Alpine is having a moment and it's gone into the pit lane. Okay. This is very strange. Victor is losing positions like a madman as a Haas spins. Malmazelda spins, freeing up Paranoid to go through. Paranoid still keeping his tally of finishing in the points. Is Sandstorm trying to unlap himself? The monster gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane and retires in said pit lane. Very sad times for the monster. Was running a good race at one point, then it just all went bad at lap 9. Very, very unlucky for him. The underappreciated ones in this race is CPO Troy and Fraser Fishy just leading the whole thing the whole time. And of course Margin as well, who I finally will get to ask how we pronounce his name if he just does not spin. I get to figure out how to say his name. And yeah, I mean, it's sort of a bit of unprecedented pace there from Margin. Maybe it's a good track of his. We'll have to ask him in the interviews. Fraser Fishy, of course, just all-round good driver, as we know, but done pretty well around here at Imola, and CPR Troy, of course, just absolutely dominant with the performance. Hopefully he doesn't mic drop us again like he did in round 1, but Charlie goes fastest lap. But here he comes, CPI Troye. He's done it not just once, not just twice, but for the 3rd time. CPI Troye wins in Season 6, and he wins in Imola. Congratulations. Fraser Fishy takes P2. Margin, or however we're going to say his name, which we're going to find out. Thank you for him for getting to P3. Oliveira going to be taking P4. I think he only had 3 seconds.
It was a 10-second.
Oh, 10-second, but it will be removed probably. So, Final Flame takes P4, Oliveira takes P5, but expect that to change. Evan takes P6. Josh Tomo gets 5 seconds for an unserved, but takes P7. Paranoid's going to therefore inherit P7. Josh takes P8. Oliver F1 with a record-breaking however much penalties. I don't know, but it was not double digits. Takes P10. Malmazelda takes P9. Charlie gonna end up taking P11. Maybe Victor might snatch it, depending on the penalty tally. Victor takes P12. Paranoid, I take P7 with 68% hards. Paranoid, could you not have worn your tires by 1 more %? Charlie takes drive of the day. It was a very good drive from Charlie. Just a shame, and some unfortunate circumstances occurred. Ace, can you add the people to the party, please?
Yep.
As I
already doing that.
recap their points. But we will watch CPI Troye take his third first place of the season as he hits the griddy. Sadly, well, sadly or unsadly, depending on who you ask, hits the griddy, takes P1 for the third time this season. Absolutely dominant so far. Will we see it continue into the other rounds? We will have to see. But congratulations, though, to Paranoid for continuing his streak of scoring constantly in the races he competes in. Congratulations, Paranoid. Personal round of applause.
Peanut.
But P1,
P7, actually.
P7, Jesus Christ, Paranoid. CBI Troy takes P1, Fraser Fishy P2, Margin P3, Final Flame P4, Oliveira P5, Evan P6, Paranoid P7, Josh Tomo P8, Mama Zelda P9, Oliver F1 P10. How many penalties was it at the end? 9 seconds.
Ooh.
Charlie P10, Charlie P11, Victor P12, Verify P13, Sandstorm P14, The Monster P15, It's P16, Tristan P17, and Jack P18. Oliver saying, man, I got screwed by inconsistent drivers. Ooh. And Paranoid putting in Halo emojis, but hello CPI Troy, eh?
That's Fraser.
Is it Fraser? I don't know who it is.
It was,
Everyone's
it was Fraser
here.
who joined for. It was Fraser joined first. Margin's not in yet,
No,
though.
Margie's not here yet. But CPI Troy and Fraser Fishy are both here. Hello, Fraser.
No, he is.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello. Right. Everyone's here, so I can just start straight away. Right. P3. Margin, I think. How do I say your name?
You say it Marijn.
Marijn. Marijn.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't expect me to get that right when I'm speaking very fast, but I will try my best to get it right. Marijn, how was your drive today? How was it around Imola? I mean, looking at the first two races, I mean, the pace seems like quite unprecedented. Like, is it one of your favorite tracks?
No, it's not one of my favorite tracks. No.
No, I mean, it was a pretty good drive though for you today. I mean, you're like looking from the first two races, you seem to have found some pace. I mean, you were running quite high in those races as well, I believe. But no, I mean, pretty good.
Only
Go on.
Portico. The only Portico was that was not weird.
Yeah. I mean, no, I mean, you ran a pretty good race today. I mean, it was pretty. You did have some fights at times with Oliveira. I'm trying to think who else you did, but
No, I didn't fight Oliveira.
did you not?
I didn't really fight anyone.
I didn't fight. I let Flaming pass me once, and then I passed him back.
Oh yeah.
And Victor passed me once, and that's it.
Really?
And lap 1. For the rest, it was boring.
Yeah, I was about to say. I know the top two it was very quiet, which we'll get to in a moment. But I thought there was a bit more action for P3. God, I mean.
Maybe at the beginning, but not at.
Wow. Okay. I mean, quiet race. I mean, you take home P3 at Imola, so I mean, congratulations for that. You score some good points for Alpha Tauri. I mean, I think you're Alpha Tauri. I hope you are, because I've just said that.
Yes.
Thank you. No, I mean, you scored some good points for Alpha Tauri. I think Alpha Tauri will be happy. I don't know your current stance in the constructors, but I will quickly
We were
check.
last. We were last. I think we moved to P7.
No, we're still last.
Yeah, we were last.
Yeah.
We still are last, but
No.
we might move up.
Nah.
Yeah.
Currently, before Imola was out to get in footage, you're last by 1
Yeah.
point.
We were last, but now.
Yeah, you
This
should
was-
overtake Aston Martin. You should overtake
Aston Martin and Ferrari, actually.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, you should actually get Ferrari. No, I
and
mean,
Red Bull.
and Red. Maybe, yeah, actually. Pretty good
Red
points for
Bull
you.
and Williams tied, so you might be able to.
If Ids would have finished, God, that would have been a really good result for AlphaTauri.
It's
Yeah.
a little bit more pace than me, but for
Yeah,
at least.
Ids looked rapid, but he sadly crashed out lap 9, which he looked like he was on for a good race as well.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, yes, I mean, it's been a quiet race, and I don't know how I'm going to interview these other two, but congratulations for your P3. Ace, you got any questions?
Don't really have any questions, but I don't actually know how to pronounce his name, so
Marine.
yeah, mine.
Don't
So you know your manager, Thomas, at the moment. You might want to tell him how you pronounce your name because he still doesn't know.
No, it's alright.
Yeah.
Your own
Well,
manager doesn't know how to pronounce your name. That is really bad, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah. Maybe.
well, you got any final comments from yourself, or are you
No,
happy
not
to end
No.
it there? Well,
I don't have any other questions for him.
I mean, sounds like you're content with your P3. I mean,
Yep.
congratulations. I mean, you're free to go now. I'm now going to try and figure out how I'm going to interview these other two. So go enjoy the rest of your evening. Cheers. Fraser,
Hello.
congrats on P2, my friend.
Cheers.
I can't say much really. You drove and you finished P2. Like there was the only interesting point I could think of in your race was the point where there was a safety car, you pitted, and then you gapped the rest of the field.
Yeah, I mean, my goal was really just to keep out of the arrest of everyone behind, so... I mean, after
Yeah.
the first couple of laps, I had no battery, so I was just trying to manage that, but... I mean, yeah, it was a nice race, to be fair. Enjoyed it. Made 0
Yeah.
overtakes, but got overtaken 0 times, so... Pretty
Yeah,
simple,
no,
but
I
things
mean-
went into it.
You got points. Like you got the points you needed to get, and I mean, where's McLaren currently? McLaren's currently 5th with 35. Looking at the teams ahead of you, you might actually get a few positional improvements. Your personal drivers, oh yeah, you'll go up massively. Yeah, you'll shoot up there.
Yeah, I just realised coming into this race where I was in the standings, so I knew I need to...
You needed to put the burners on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I knew Imola was one of my favourite tracks, so I could...
Yeah, I thought it was for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, put the burners on, you did, mate. I mean, you secured P2, so congrats on that.
Thanks.
Ace, any questions?
You in qualifying, did you have any pressure because of the amount of chaos going to the final sector on the final outlaps, or were you just able to nail it?
I think I came out quite late, so I was coming on to the end of the traffic, so I wasn't avoided that much. But I knew going into qualifying I had decent pace. I had done a 15.2 in practice before, so I just knew if I could be able to match that, I'd be up there somewhere.
AKA, he was part of the traffic. Well, that's what I got from that, at least. But, no, congrats, mate. Any comments from yourself, or are you donezo?
Well, no, not really, to be honest.
Well,
Enjoyed the race.
fair enough. It was a quiet one. It was a very quiet one up the front.
Yeah,
It was mainly midfield focused today. But no, congrats. P2, good points.
Cheers.
Boosting you up the drivers. You're free to leave, mate. Have a great
Thanks.
evening. Hello, Troy. Well, I mean, great dominance of your win today in P1. I mean, great drivers always. 3-win streak as well, so congrats on that. How long do you think you can keep this win streak going?
I don't know, to be honest. We'll see. I don't know, to be honest. Sometimes you're on a run. Sometimes you just spin out of nowhere, even though you're having a great race. So yeah, time will tell, I guess.
Fair play. I mean, you're currently like maxed out your points so far in the um, championship, so you're still at the top. Um, so I mean, no real changes there, and I mean, you've secured great points for Haas as well, and I assume they'll still be at the top of the constructors, even with I think only with your reserve driver in today as well. With because wait, is Pinkar your reserve driver? I don't know. I don't know the Haas
No.
reserves, but yeah, like Malmo. I think Malmo's out as your reserve, but no, I mean great race from you and um, from Haas. Although Haas, Mount, I think your teammate had a little bit of issues, but other than that, your usual dominance display as always. I mean, any struggles for you at any point, or was it just straightforward?
Not really. To be honest, like my teammate done really well. I would say because he got like no, or he jumped in at such late notice because obviously Jawes was going to reserve it first for Pinkeye because Pinkeye couldn't race, but then he had to drop out like 2 hours before the race, and then yeah, just Mama
Ooh.
Soda jumped in last minute, and he done really well as well. It was just strategy that screwed him over. He got put on the wrong tires. So
Uh,
to be honest, I'm very happy
yeah.
with what he achieved, anyways,
No,
with being on the wrong
jumping in,
strategies too.
jumping in like 2 hours before a race. Yeah, no,
But
really
yeah, I didn't
brave.
have really big struggles to be honest. I don't know. I mean, Fraser done better than I expected him to. I expected him to drop a bit further back as soon as I broke the DRS, to be honest. But yeah, I still knew that I had a slight pace advantage, so I was just trying to go safe, not do anything stupid, to be honest, and yeah, just secure the win.
That you did. That you definitely did, and with minimal hassle, it seems. Wow. I mean, I have no comments. Like, if there is like as close to perfection you can get, that was it for a race. Like, you had the strategy was perfect. That safety car, like, perfectly timed for you to fulfill your strategy. It was just, yeah. I mean, I see this going the same way Max Verstappen the races last season in F1 went with Max Verstappen just dominating most of them. So I see this sort of the comparison started to draw in, but no, absolutely
Yeah,
dominant.
I don't want to be compared to that cunt one ever
Okay,
again. I'm sorry, mate,
okay,
but
okay. No, you're right.
I'm
You're right.
not
You're
really
right.
the.
I understand. But no, dominant display. Ace, any questions?
Third win in a row. You're just being dominant, taking another pole as well. Hi. You're on auto gears as well. So like, hi.
Yeah, um, I don't know. Just drive, to be honest. I don't know what to answer to
Just
that.
drive.
No, but like you were on to earlier, Dave, I'm kind of like a perfectionist when it comes to everything in life, not only like racing. So like even today when I finished and I didn't get the fastest lap towards the end because yeah, someone boxed for softs. I was still kind of frustrated, and even with my pole lap, was very angry with myself because I couldn't get into the 14th. I felt like that was a good quality lap wasted there because, yeah, quite frankly, the lap wasn't that great. But at the end of the day, pole position is pole. You know, it doesn't matter if it's by 1,000 of a second or if it's by 2 seconds. You know.
Hmm. I mean, I get the perfectionist mindset, but my mindset's very much like if it's good enough to get good enough to get the job done, then I'm not going to beat myself up over it. But no, I understand, especially in like a sport like this, it's very much I want to get it perfect. So I understand you. Um, so yeah, I mean, P1 has going up and up. You going up and up in the drivers. Great race from you. So congratulations, Troy. Any last notes from you?
No, man. Just wanna shout out the team, man. I really enjoy the guys I'm working with in Haas, I guess. See you next week. Thank you for commentating.
See you next week as well. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. He seems very confident. I love it. Um, anyway, thank you for joining us for round three of Imola today. I've been me. Ace has been here. Well, most of the time when he hasn't been disconnecting from the lobby. But no, he's been trying his best, guys. Did you enjoy the race today?
Yeah, but I do want to say one thing before we go. After round one, what did Troy say in the interviews?
Oh God, don't bring that back up. That's for the TikTok,
Do
man.
you?
I don't think he was wrong, man.
700. He's on 75 points now,
Yeah.
and his closest rival was his teammate on 28, and his teammate wasn't here today.
Mhm.
So I think that. Hang on, the next closest that would have scored points. Did Verify score points?
Don't know.
I don't think he did. But if not, his closest rival that scored points would have been Charlie.
Mm.
And Charlie's in P6
Jesus Christ. Wow.
on 22 points.
Well, we're going to have a race that sort of breaks the pattern that's currently been set. We're going to the Austrian Grand Prix next week. It's going to be a nice short, very much sprint-like, no sprint race, but very much fast-paced, rapid race. Let's see what the drivers can pull off then. But for now, it's goodbye from me and goodbye from Ace. We'll see you all next week from Austria. Well, not in Austria, but you know what I mean. We'll see you when we're at Austria. I've been me, I've been you. Have a great evening, have a great night. Thank you all, and thank you all for tuning in. See ya.